And Ansley invited me to her house to have pizza, and I instantly clicked with her because I had no one else then, and she was there for me. And then we went to the mall, and I basically met Christian, but we didn't really talk. But then I remember adding him on Facebook that night, and we became really good friends from then on out. And then we eventually started dating, and I think that was the happiest I've been in that since the 2 years since that I've been with my mom and all that. And I will never forget the first time I went to their house. They said the blessing, and my family didn't pray at all, and I wasn't in an environment like that. And I remember bowing my head and closing my eyes and then opening them right after. And that still hurts to even think that I would open my eyes in a blessing today. And Christian would tell me to pray about stuff when I got upset with my mom. And I would jump on his case and say, how's praying going to help? How's that going to do anything? I pray all the time and I don't get answers. It was because I was selfish. And then I met people like Christina and Lauren and Kelly and Lindsay and everybody here, and I instantly felt like I was part of everybody here. And I never felt love from other people because my mom and everybody, it's just like I was separated. I didn't have any love in my life, and then I came here, and it's like everybody instantly makes you part of their family. And that's when I tried praying one night, and I broke down because I did love my mom. I didn't want to admit that I loved my mom. I didn't want to admit that I forgave my mom because inside I wanted to hate her. And sometimes I still feel not hatred, but I feel like I don't think me and my mom are still doing that well. But I remember the night that she was praying, or that I was praying, my mom told me there's only 3 people who love you unconditionally. It's me, your dad, and God, whether you want to believe it or not. And I broke down on that because I couldn't believe that my mom actually had faith in anything and would tell me something like that because I went 2 years without even saying I love you or good night to my mom. And then my faith went on from there, and I realized that once I came to church and met Christian, I was a happier person. I began to look at things at a brighter side. I'm still working on it, but Christian tells me every day that I'm upset, that it could always be worse. And I know that now, and I accept that because I think of my situation, but I also think of other people's, and that if I can get through something like this, that anybody basically can. And the day that I got baptized here was probably going under the water was basically the best feeling I ever had. But there was still a piece of me that was still not taken with God that day because my mom was in the audience and she left. Sorry. Maybe a minute after I got baptized, my mom left the church because she had to go to Jeff's, and I remember seeing her talking that day to Jeff in the audience. They were talking while I was getting baptized, and I just knew that my mom wasn't completely changed. And then I stopped. I started still coming to church, but a part of me didn't want to be there anymore because I thought things weren't getting better when they really were. But I recently, not maybe 2 months ago, got into a huge fight with my mom again. And that night I prayed alone. I never told anybody about any time that I've ever prayed alone, but it was maybe like a 20-minute prayer. I was telling God what I would want to tell my mom. And I still haven't told my mom that, but I remember Disciple Now, I was with Natalie and everybody, and it was maybe a couple weeks after I had that prayer alone, I texted my mom that I forgave her and that I love her, and she knows I love her. Today's her birthday. It's embarrassing. And my mom, hold on, could you hand me my phone really quick? It's like, I saved these for today.
Your butt's in the thing.
My legs are shaking, I'm not even doing that. Sorry. But I remember Andrew and everybody, we were sitting in a circle, and he said that tomorrow isn't promised. And that still replays in my head a lot, that if tomorrow wasn't promised, that I could have gone a day hating my mom and then basically never seeing her again and leaving her with hatred. And she sent me, "My love for you is and will always be unconditional. You're my heart. You're just 15. You will get love. You will as long as you feel it. You know I'm always your biggest fan and best friend. A mom's love is different than any other. You are so loved. I'm always aware of what being your age is like. It's been a while, but I do remember. You have always been my baby that was attached to me. I miss that, but get it. You are and always will be loved with all I've got. I'm sorry for what I've done for you. To you, you realize there's only one life and only one chance to show those that love you how much you love them. You do make me happy. I'm proud of your strength and the love you have for others. I know you love me. It keeps me safe and it keeps me going every day, even if I haven't shown the love back to you." And that from then on out has made me, no matter what we still go through today, that I love my mom because I had the strength of God to tell me to never give up. Because maybe last year, when I was not with my faith, I remember being in my bathroom and thinking, what if I just ended it now? And I really was so close to going downstairs and doing it. And I actually wanted to do it somewhere where my mom could see it and feel guilty. And I think of today and going to church, like, what if I wasn't here? And what if I would have met people like y'all? And my mom sat down and talked to me last night before I talked about my testimony, and she told me that she had read a message of me talking about that night, and that she said that if I would have done that, that she wouldn't know what she would have done. And she said that she wants me to never miss a week of church again, and that if I do that, we'll pray together. And because it scares her to see that I could have been gone that night. And then, I guess, starting from now, I feel so good that I'm here, and that I'm basically here, more importantly, in church around. I feel God's love every day, just by having a life, by having my mom still here, by me still being here, having Christian, because having Christian lead me to God and church, I think that if anything happened to us, we'd never stop being friends, best friends, anything. I'd never lose a connection with him because he's given me an even bigger connection, and that's with God. And I don't know how I could repay someone better. So